You better start coming in second.
Oh man, oh man. What a day, what a day.
Yeah. Wait until the chat fill up. You know what I mean? We get a few people at this bitch.
Sheesh. Busy times, man. Busy times. Busy times. Switch this. All right, all right. So,
Hold on real quick. You calling me and I'm on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Hello? 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 Taking live calls. Hey.
Turn your mic down. Yeah. Okay.
If they come back, they come back. And I wouldn't, If they come back, they come back. All right. If they come back, they come back. I'm doing this.
All right. So, since we only here for a short time today, let's get right into it. What do you say? Oh, let me.
Oops. No. We, you know what I'm saying? We could ask that. So, Spaces, how was your week? I mean, this, people. I mean, our whole zero viewers, they looking for it. How was your week, man?
My last week was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I forgot to say something that I meant to say last week, but it happened the week before that. So I went to see Will live at a comedy show.
Oh, did you? Okay. How'd that go?
So it was about.
I know Will be doing this thing, man. Will's very talented, brother.
Yeah, when it was about 6 or 7 different people there. It was half of them were caused me to legit laugh unexpectedly.
The other comedians or just people in the audience?
Will and 2 other people.
Okay.
Will and 2 other people. I was like, oh, this, and man, it was hilarious. I was, of course, I'm not going to spoil the jokes because I believe in people seeing things for the first time, and people what they do in New York, they lock people's phones in like these little baggies.
Yeah, they did that at the Chicago Theater when we went to go see Corey Holcomb.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it.
I guess it just depends on the comedian. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But they didn't do that. I'm just saying, like, it just reminded, as far as spoiling jokes and putting stuff on the internet and all, and even with the stand-up comedians, I mean, like movies, recording certain parts, being in the theater, recording certain parts of a movie on your phone and then putting it up on the internet for other people to see. Just spoilers like that. Like I'm real big, I'm real big on not knowing anything about anything. Like I'll watch a few seconds of a clip of a movie trailer. I was about to say movie clip, but a movie trailer, and just off of those few seconds, I determine whether or not I'm going to watch the movie. But because I don't want to know nothing, So in that regard, yeah, man, Will was hilarious.
That's good.
Will was hilarious.
That's good. Absolutely.
It was a guy from California. I forget his name. He was hilarious. It was a black guy from California. Very, very cohesive jokes. Like it was one long story, one connected story, as opposed to just different like one-liners.
Yeah.
Then it was a short white girl that was there, and she was funny too.
She was funny.
Yeah, she not like unexpectedly laughing funny like I was with Will and the other guy, but it was, yeah.
Yeah, you got a few giggles.
Yeah, she had some giggles for sure. For sure.
Couple of them. Be humble. Where you at, man? Look, I swear to God, bro.
Bro, if that's be humble. Bro, hold on. Dude.
Let that be humble.
If you say, it's cultivate.
Cultivate.
What's up? What's up?
I thought that was be humble. Well, I was like, be humble with the figs. You know he out of DC.
Cultivate. What's up? Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
I know you said your daughter was a long time ago. She was making some tacos. Was it brisket? I don't know. Whatever. What she do for you, or if y'all doing anything? What's going on? What you got planned?
Yeah, I was the tacos
from like a month ago.
But yeah, tacos ain't that what they called?
I think so. But yesterday I went to see the least anticipated movie in theaters right now.
Okay.
Shadow Force.
Is that like some nigga nerd shit? Like the some Marvel? Or
no, not at all.
Oh,
not at all. It sounds like it, right?
Yeah.
It was Kerry Washington.
Oh, Kerry. Okay, she still act.
Yeah, and she, if I'm not mistaken, she co-produced this movie.
Okay, how was it?
It wasn't bad. I was hearing reviews that people would rather it have been gone straight to Netflix.
Okay.
Which I'm not mad at that, because there was some parts where it was like, okay.
Why would people rather that? They didn't feel like it was worth their money, or?
I think so. I think that was the case.
Okay.
It wasn't worth the movie ticket.
Well, you can always go check it out at a matinee. You don't never have to spend full price for this shit.
True.
You know.
True. Yeah.
Only blockbusters and shit, like, you know, I would go ahead and get the full experience. Because sometimes the thing about going to the theater is also about the people that's around you in the theater. You know what I mean? You got to take in that energy.
Yeah.
You know, and hear people talk. I know people don't like people talking in the movie, but hearing people's commentary during different part actually makes the movie sometimes a little better too.
Yeah. There's been times where I've been that person.
I am that guy.
There will be something funny that happens. I'm laughing hard. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know, I just hearing other people's comments does help or hurt the movie. So yeah, I definitely understand that.
I'm from the old school, man, where you know, this is 2000s or whatever, and we would go to Ford City. You know, they smoking weed in the theater. North Riverside Mall, they doing the same thing. Over there on Melrose Park Theater, and what's the other one? We go to Galewood Theater right there off Central, and right under the bridge. But yeah, oh my goodness, like the commentary of different people at the theater, it really makes it sometimes, especially for like comedic movies or whatever, comedy movies, like it makes for a fun show.
Yeah, the past few comedic movies I've seen were not funny. Like I would sit in them straight faced, maybe get a little bit of a chuckle, but yeah. But that was one thing. Those are two things that I did recently.
Naps, greetings.
Naps and beauty. Oh, Cultivate said, I'm chilling with my seeds today while participating in the Walking Dead binge.
Yo, seeds.
And seeds.
All right. Okay.
I didn't know there was more than one. Okay.
Yeah.
Cultivate. Walking Dead binge.
Yeah, I saw that was on Netflix, man. I never could really get into it because I feel like a lot of zombie apocalypse shit, like they be doing dumb shit.
Okay, go ahead.
But maybe all sensibility go out the window when it's zombie apocalypse time. You know, you just kind of winging it.
Like what?
Just, you know, I don't know. Like they just be tripping, and you know, the humans just be tripping and falling. You know, they lose all sense of, you know, being able to function.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, dude, like I don't know. It's just me.
Nancy Beauty said the game is worth the play too. I never
Really
like zombies. I'm a zombophobe. Like I tried to play Dead Island a long time ago.
Dead Island.
I couldn't do it.
That first zombies on Call of Duty though. Oh my goodness, classic. Them first 2-3 zombies. Like some people play Call of Duty just for zombies.
I would.
Yeah, zombies on Call of Duty go crazy.
Let's see. So she said there's a Walking Dead or participating in the Walking Dead binge. So is this something like a trend? I don't know.
I think it just came on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. I was just at my grandmother's house and I saw that Walking Dead is, you know, on there. So that's cool. It's been out since 2010, I see.
Yeah, it's been out for sure.
How many seasons of that was it?
At least 8.
8, dope.
And it was a whole bunch of episodes per season too. And I agree with the reason why I asked. Yo, Maul, what's good, bro?
Yo.
Oh, I agree with that because I did watch up to season 5 or 6.
Yeah. Maul, so you gonna call in?
You gonna call in on one of the topics I suppose?
Okay.
All right, let me make sure my phone is connected.
Yeah. 11 seasons. Wow. So what? That's dope. You said one of the tropics.
One at a time.
All right. You ready to go out of town?
You ready to go?
You ready to go to Jamaica?
You ready to go to Jamaica?
Jamaica, man.
But yeah, that was definitely some nonsense happening for sure. He said it was a later on in the season where something that was like there's no way this is gonna come out in a way that it would theatrically, right? Like this is unbelievable. There's no way this could happen. And that unbelievable thing happens. Like, come on, man. And then, you know, Walking Dead was based off of, I think, comic books, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And the way they portray the Walking Dead in the series is completely different from the comic books or whatever. The
most of the time they deviate. Yeah.
The characters in the comic book, you never could get attached to them because all of them die at some point.
Yeah, like T-Dog. I'm sorry, but this shit been out forever. I know
Okay.
I know T-Dog died. I don't even watch this shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you got all these, I'm sorry, you know, cutting in, but you got all these random. This was one thing I was thinking about. I think Walking Dead is racist because, like, I was, you know, because I've seen different clips of Walking Dead, right?
Right.
And everybody look dirty and shit, right? You know, for the most part, they got to look dirty. But then you got the one blonde-haired white girl, right? She's kind of like a dirty blonde. And she's the clean one. She looks kind of clean, right? But then you got the darker skinned black chick. She's kind of dark.
Michonne?
You know, whatever her name is. It's fine, you know, her dark skin, but they got her kind of like greasy looking. You know what I'm saying? Not skin glistening. They got her greasy looking. You see, the one black dude that was running with him, this nigga's name is T-Dog. He could have been Terrence. He could have been Tracy. He could have been Theodore. Could have been Thomas. T-Dog. Everybody else got a name. This nigga's name is T-Dog.
Which one? I got the.
I think he died in, I don't know. Shit, I don't watch this shit. But it's just, nigga named T-Dog. That really, something about that.
Who's T-Dog? Well,
I feel like they don't really think there's going to be too many niggas out there when, you know, this shit pop off. Whenever T-Dog. show the people T-Dog, man.
Stacy.
Yeah. No, they definitely do got some dirty whites. There's definitely some dirty white. But what I'm saying, your main character, right? You know, the white chick, she out here real clean looking. You know, dudes is kind of making passes at her. But then you got the black chick. She kind of strong and masculine. You know, slicing niggas up with the katana, all dirty and oily looking.
That's Michonne.
Yeah. Nigga. T-Dog.
Her.
Yeah. Look at that. Come on, man. I'm just saying. She look like Viola Davis, too. Well, I'm just saying. That's how they got her. But then, type in the white chick. They ain't gonna have her dirty looking.
Which one? Let me see.
Just type in cast, and I can tell you which one. Walking Dead cast.
Walking Dead cast. This was Maggie.
I think that was Maggie. Shit, was it Maggie? No, that wasn't her. What
Carol, she has short hair.
Yeah, it might have been her.
Rosita, which
No, it wasn't her. It was her right here at the bottom, Lauren Holden. Yeah, I can. Mm-hmm.
Let's see the other.
They don't have her looking dirty. She look damn near how she look on here. Look, bro, come on. This is post-apocalyptic. Look. It's like a scene from Gone in the Wind. Do she look dirty? Look at that. This is now she look dirty in that because she's dealing with fellow dirty people. But I'm just saying, she like normally when she's by herself, she always find a way to get to the tub. Walking Dead is racist.
Oh, David, what's good, bro? What's good?
What up, man? Walking Dead is.
Yeah. He said,
yeah.
And Grand Buck to you spaces. What does that mean? Yeah, I watched Walking Dead up until about I think season 5 or 6, and then after that, when Negan got introduced to the story, it just cliff dive. It was awful after that, awful. So I fell off. But yeah, how was your last week?
My week, man, went great, man. You know, as I'm approaching my ON years, old nigga years, right? Two things that happened. Same thing happened day after the other, excuse me. So I'm at work, and apparently I dropped my wallet in the lot. I get a phone call. Somebody's like, man, in the trucking lot, so not the public lot, but in the trucking lot. So they're like, man, I fuck with you, right? But I didn't know who the fuck this was. This is just a random number coming across my phone. No, I fuck with you, right? I'm like, who is this? So they told me their name. Like, oh, man, I found your wallet. I'm like, all right, I appreciate it, man. Put it up for me. So I get my wallet. So yesterday I go down to Indy, right? And I make a stop. Mall know the stop, 158. They sell chicken gizzards up in there. I'm on my way back. Let me get some gizzards. I'm hungry. So now I go looking for my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I say, damn. What the I said, oh, no, please don't tell me I left it back in Indy.
Mm-hmm.
It's about an hour back the other way.
Right.
And I have to come back again. Right? I'm already low on time.
2 hours.
Right? So I'm searching the truck and shit. And then I just hopped out the truck. And where it was it had fallen out the truck, but it was lodged in between it's like a DEF fuel tank and the actual fuel tank. They're next to each other. So it's lodged in between there.
Right. Okay.
And I say, what the fuck? Don't tell me I get to be almost 40 years old and I'm starting to lose shit. But thank God I didn't have to go back and I found my wallet. I'll start sweating. But my week just went great. Outside of that, it's been very uneventful.
No, man. I'm glad you found your wallet, man. That is.
Yeah, I got some important stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's at a time where I got the most important shit in my wallet, but I'm glad I found it.
Yeah, I'm glad you found it because trying to just off your cards alone, trying to replace all those and then whatever it is that you may have if you make certain online transactions and you have whatever it is that you paying bills.
Yeah.
You got to get a new card, and then when the new card finally come, after you struggle to pay for gas, whatever the case, after you struggle with that for 2, 3, 4, 5 business days, this new card finally come in, and you got to register this new card to whatever your phone bill, your electricity bill, whatever it is, all over again, just starting everything all over. I've had to do that. It was awful. So yeah, I definitely. I'm glad you found it.
I got a question too. I know we short on time, maybe you extend it a little bit, but here's a quick question. It was something I was thinking about. I talked to Stogie about it. Do you think when people are picking a mate, right, that whatever it is that they like about a particular person, not a particular person, but archetype archetype of a person. It could be skin complexion, skin tone. It could be, colored eyes, wavy hair, whatever it is. Do you think that supersedes all sensibilities as far as is this person the right match for me?
It definitely can.
Right? Or how's this person character?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the whole idea behind the preference conversation, which has been convoluted over time in all of these relationship-based conversations. The whole idea, the preference is something that is not required. There's a difference in required and prefer.
Yeah.
When you apply for a job, the requirements are here.
Here, yeah.
And then 2 years of experience preferred.
Mm-hmm.
Bachelor's degree preferred, master's degree preferred.
Okay,
so they're saying that you're not disqualified from the position, but having these extra things give you a better leg up over other people. So what has happened over the years or over all these conversations is you will hear people say, that's my preference. But if you listen to them talk and pay attention to how they're phrasing everything, they're phrasing their preference as if it's a requirement. So if a person if they say you got to be 5'8", and that's my preference. Well, according to the definition of the word prefer or how we use the word prefer, that means you prefer for them to be 5'8", but if they're 5'9" or 5'5", you'll still kick it with them. Still give them a chance. So, people definitely have gotten blinded or distracted by preferences over necessities or requirements for sure.
Height is a real big one that you just brought up. And because, sometimes I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure, but sometimes in my Instagram feed, you get the pop the balloon shits. And a lot of the women that I've noticed, first of all, these women are short themselves. I'm talking about, they 5'2", 5'3", and they're saying, it was this one guy. He came on there, he was 6'2", and he said he had boots on, makes him 6'4". And the one woman was like, well, he's too short for me. And I'm like, what type of nigga you looking for? He, you know what I mean? Like you looking for a small forward,
Right.
You're looking for an NBA center. And he wouldn't be checking for you. He wouldn't.
Right.
Some guy that tall, more than likely, if he play in the league, he probably ain't checking for you. You won't pop the balloon.
Now, I pulled up the definition of preference for the people. Preference, a greater liking for one alternative over the other. Over another or others. A prior right or procedure, especially in connection with the prevention of deaths. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the first one, the noun, right here. A greater liking for one alternative over another or others. It's a greater liking.
Yeah.
That means
I like chocolate. I prefer chocolate ice cream over regular vanilla, right? But I will eat some regular vanilla. We just talking about ice cream here.
Yeah, you got David in the chat. Like, what you mean?
Just people go all over the place.
That's
the
a beauty.
One,
That's a beauty.
Yeah, hey, Aaron the plumber told him, hey, you ain't qualified. Like,
ain't even taken off on social media ever since.
Yeah,
I didn't see him beforehand, but maybe
before that I saw him on whatever that show is. He was fighting the transgender person. But
did he lose that?
No, I thought he rocked. Yeah,
I don't know one way or the other. I don't know much about him at all. But yeah, definitely people these days more now than ever. And I've listened to countless hours of this preference conversation. Definitely a distraction. Definitely. And what I notice about it too is a lot of times when people, it was a guy that I watched on YouTube. He said that he's no longer going after what his preference is in women.
Okay.
He's no longer going after his preference in women because his preference is ideal to him and therefore he's weak to that type of woman.
Okay.
For instance, he said, yeah, I can get all my money together, and I can say that I'm focused on this, I'm gonna spend my money on this. And if I'm talking to two girls, one is my preference and one is not, the one that's not my preference, I'll be able to better control myself as far as spending money on her. Whereas in my preference, she's just so beautiful to me that I can't say no to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I think people are thinking these days.
Mm-hmm.
Because and a lot of times your preference, and I actually think back to the 85 South show when Carlos Miller said, how you like your preference, but your preference don't like you.
Mm.
That was a bar. I was like, sheesh. Because a lot of people, if you listen to people in conversations, they are not with the person that they deem physically perfect for them.
Who's gonna be that though?
And that's the point,
right? Your preference. I mean, if you had a preference with a person of a type of person, that should really only buy them 30 extra more seconds, right? Because after a while they're gonna start saying, it don't matter how they look, they're gonna start saying some dumb shit.
Yes, cultivate transgender.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, transgender. That's just basically like a garlic, but yeah, a garlic. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's onion. Anyway, but what I'm saying is it should, like, you shouldn't let your preference, like, okay, if you see an attractive person, right? Mm-hmm. After a while, like, all that shit gonna fade. It still goes to, what kind of conversation that they're having with you.
Facts. 1,000%. And that's what I noticed with people, and when people that gear their relationship practices towards people that are their preference, they say that person that is their preference is devoid of being a good relationship partner. Mm. They say, yeah, you look good for social media, you look good for the public, but you're a terrible person to be in a relationship with.
Right. Because they haven't probably had to actually, the terrible person that's in the relationship, that person that I think hasn't really had to work on being good in a relationship. Yeah, because they had people coming to them constantly trying to seek a relationship with, so they had the cream of the crop. Basically, they had their choice in the people that they want to kick it with. Yep. So if they're sitting up, hypothetically, they're sitting up here and they got all of these people looking up to them trying to get with them. It's kind of like jobs. There's tons of people applying for these jobs, so they get to be as picky and choosy as they want to. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, on both ends, from men to women and women to men, the fact is there are millions and thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of people that have the same preference as you. Absolutely. So, welcome to another episode of your favorite after church podcast, the KNoWKi podcast. I am your man Spaces. I'm Jay Everyday. Man, Maul is out. He cooking on the grill. And if I hear, Maul, if I know you're still here, if I hear somebody slip up and say, yeah, man, that food was good and all that, and you sneak and give people plates and I don't get one, we're going to have a problem, bro. Uh-oh. We're going to have a problem, bro. He moving like a crackhead. You see him? But Maul's ribs are legendary for sure. For real. Yeah. And y'all know how I am about eating certain things. No diddy. But yeah, like how careful I am with my food choices. I'll make a cheat day for Maul's barbecue. There you go. No rice cakes for you, huh? Caramel flavor, but it's today, special day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day, absolutely. And I happened to come across this video real quick. Want y'all to check it out. This is Mojo Brooks. Hilarious dude. Who my baby mama? You my baby mama. Who my baby mama? You my baby mama. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, baby daddy. Let me go get your kids. No. I was thinking we do something special, like me and the kids, we take you out for dinner or something. No, me and my man is going out. What man? My man that I have. Where's his mama at? She's paralyzed.
Okay, well, he better roll her ass to whatever restaurant he want to eat at. That ain't, no, I'm saying, this supposed to be my day. You my baby mama.
Okay, you being rude.
Let me holler at the nigga and see why he can't.
No.
Panhand me now. Do not touch me. You with a nigga that ain't even gonna spend Mother's Day with his own mama. Think about that. He ain't gonna give a fuck about you.
You being too loud.
Come to the car. Come to the car. Come talk to me. So you want me to come pick up the kids so you can prance around with this nigga on Mother's Day?
What's the problem?
It's Mother's Day. You supposed to be with your kids.
It's one day that I get by myself.
Who the fuck? Where it say you get it by yourself? We celebrating you being a mother. How you gonna be a mother on Mother's Day and don't got the kids? What kind of shit is that?
No.
And you trying to prance around with a nigga who ain't even spending time with his mama. She laid up somewhere, can't move, and he trying to chase Gucci around. You and the kids is coming with me. I'm not arguing about this shit.
I'm
yes,
not.
you
No,
is.
I'm not.
Yes, you is. Now go up in there and get the kids, and y'all come on before I let him know that you like to come and see me from time to time.
Well, I ain't been seeing you since I've been with him.
How long you been with him?
Like 2 weeks.
That's why you ain't been answering my you up texting at night?
Okay, no.
Stop playing.
It's Mojo Brooks, man. Y'all look him up, man. He is hilarious. He's hilarious. I've seen a lot of his videos, and dude is funny.
He came creased up. You see that? He was ready to go.
Yeah. Finally, man, we gonna finally get into this Shannon Sharpe conversation. We've been trying to talk about this for like 3 weeks.
Let's go. It's okay because there's always new shit coming out with Shannon. Always.
So this is something Jay Everyday sent us. Everybody's pretty much abreast on the conversation, generally speaking. So let's check it out with it. I've not seen this video myself, so let's check it out.
Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty serious show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So we've been following this story pretty closely here and been giving you updates whenever news comes out. We're not the only ones. A lot of them, hell, almost everybody on the internet is talking sports, entertainment, is talking about this story. The last thoughts I gave on it was when I was reacting to some comments that Stephen A. Smith made, I think on Big Boy's show, where he was like, you know, the fervor and all of this stuff that people are talking about Shannon Sharpe. He doesn't understand it. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, yo, did you see some of the videos of you talking about Diddy, whose trial begins on Monday? Did you see all of those videos, the fervor you were using? It's like, let's stop with the sanctum, like the self-righteous rhetoric and, why are they doing this when you yourself did it? Because you know you get you a lot of views, get you a lot of traction, and probably because you wasn't close with Diddy, so you felt it was okay. Like, let's stop with all of the nonsense. But we had broken a story about an accuser that came forward by the name of Michelle Evans. We did a live about it, and we reacted to it. So this morning I was combing through the internet, and I came across an article that was highlighting an actual interview of hers where she was just describing, you know, the disturbing relationship her and Shannon Sharpe allegedly had. And the article headline says, "He was watching me. Shannon Sharpe's ex, Michelle Evans, was scared for her life after his threats for filing a restraining order against him." In an exclusive interview with The Sun, Shannon Sharpe's ex spoke about the alleged attack, right? It says, Shannon Sharpe's ex claimed she was scared for her life after the former NFL star allegedly arred her and then threatened her when she filed a restraining order against him. In an exclusive sit-down with The Sun, one of Sharpe's accusers, Michelle Bundy Evans, who's 53, recounts the allegations she made in a bombshell sexual lawsuit suit against himself. What we want to do is we want to play what she had to say. It's a bit long, but we want to play all the important parts, and then we're going to come back and react to her comments. Take a listen to what the accuser had to say here.
It was the biggest argument that we ever got in. And he was controlling, he was domineering, he was.
Real quick, I have a question, because a lot of times when we hear Nasty Beauty 25K per cheek was crazy, crazy. But when it comes to a man and woman having fallen out, and we hear the woman give her testimony of what the situation was and how it happened, they'll say he was controlling.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times women say they either say it directly or say it without saying that they want to be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my conundrum is, because when it's working for you, it's cool. You like it. You don't like for him to tell you like it's time to go when you're having fun. But when he tells you, yeah, be ready at 7:00, wear that red dress that I like, that's attractive to you.
Right.
So which one is it?
I I guess it could be a difference between being controlling and being assertive, or kind of knowing what you want. Do you think?
I don't know. I
Like, it's a difference if I, hey, be ready at 7:00 versus
get your
get your ass in the house. Yeah, right. So get your ass in the house by 7:00.
yeah.
Right. So it's all. I guess it's all about what you say, or how you say it.
At what point do we say, yeah, what's the cutoff for what is being assertive and what's controlling, right? For instance, or maybe not assertive and controlling, but if this man is controlling but you kicked it with him, you stayed with him, you're in a relationship with him for 5 years, was he really controlling?
I think it's also about, I mean,
it's at least questionable.
It's about controlling, like, what you do on a day-to-day basis as well. Like, shit going through a person's phone. Like, you need passwords and shit to people's, not just their phone. I'm just saying you need passwords to their bank account. You need that type of shit.
Yeah.
You need to know all, I mean, because certain things are just personal information that you probably, don't need to give out to anybody. It's personal to you.
Right.
And I think a controlling person needs to know everything that you got going on. Everything.
Do you think, well, I mean, I don't disagree. On the flip side, I also think that when it comes to finances and things that have to be done in a relationship, generally speaking, women don't want to worry about that.
Well, in her situation, I'll let her talk. She was married, so
okay.
So I'm sure.
Let's see.
Manhandling me beforehand. We met in actually the press room at the Broncos, April of 2002, and but we didn't start talking until we met up at a club at Blue 67 in Denver. I don't know if anyone is listening from Denver, but yeah, we were at a club at the same time. We didn't go together. We just happened to both be there, and so he started talking to me, and started pursuing me pretty heavily from then on. I resisted for a while because I was a reporter, and I didn't want to mix the two. But he's very charming, and we dated.
Stop right there.
No, skip. No, skip. Skip. Now you skip. You heard her say I was very charming. I look skip. I look charming to you.
Let's see.
Until the 2010 incident, and then it came to a abrupt end because I wanted, we were arguing and he was threatening me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he raped me.
So what led up to that fight, that 2010 fight that you guys, I know that the argument ensued first before he allegedly raped you?
The argument was about the fact that he had removed one girl from his house and put another girl in his house and didn't tell me. And he had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. We were just dating. So I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. He asked me.
Wait a minute. So we're just gonna skip over that. We're gonna skip over that. Ma, we gonna skip over that.
Now skip. That skip. Skip. I look skip. I look skip. That's a white woman skip.
Oh man. Wow. I resisted for a while, but he's very charming, lady. You didn't want to. You resisted because he was, or you gave in because he was charming, or did you resist because you were married?
No, she said she resisted because she didn't want to mix the two from where she worked at.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
she said nothing about her being married,
and that's what I mean. Like, you knew you were married while you were a reporter. So why didn't you say from the get go that I resisted him because I'm married? You said you resisted him because you're a reporter. So clearly you don't care about your marriage, or at the very least, it's a secondary thought. Just a thought, man. Sheesh.
Shannon asked me to break up with my husband, and I don't recall for sure, but I think I did. And so it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me. So that's what it stemmed from. He's not a faithful person, so I wasn't going to be faithful to a non-faithful person. It just doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway.
Can you tell us just broadly? I know it's probably painful to relive the situation, but can you tell us generally what happened that day?
It was fighting, and usually we fought on the phone and not in person. So it was the biggest argument that we ever got in, and he was controlling, he was domineering, he was manhandling me beforehand, and he wanted to have sex, and I told him no. I told him no because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Now, Skip. Now, Skip.
Come on, man.
Now, you think I would put my penis in her mouth? Now, Skip.
What Skip say? It is my turn. It is my turn.
Okay, Skip.
You said it. You said it's my turn. Come on, man. Come on, man.
And after he got enough of that, he put me on the bed, and this was all a struggle. I had said no, and I said no even though I was thinking that, and so it was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard. I remember he got dressed.
But that's what she said, Skip. She said this was too hard, Skip. She put the penis in her mouth. That's what she had. Skip.
And then I wasn't going to do anything about it. Sometimes when you're with the person for a long time, it's hard for you to realize that they're being the perpetrator, even though you know it, you don't want to admit it, and there's so much going through your mind. But then he started coming at me. If I tell anybody, he'll use everybody he knows to destroy me, which he basically has. And then he started making other threats against my life, threats. He just was so worried that it would get out, and I wasn't going to do anything. But when he kept calling me at work, and when he kept, just very aggressively behaving, and I could see it wasn't going to go away, and he said he was going to destroy me, and he was going to kill me, and he told me he was watching me, and all that. I just went and got a protective order. I'd had enough. And unfortunately, shortly after, he doxed me, and my address got out, and I had somebody stop by my.
Is it proven that he doxed her? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
My apartment, which had a door that led right to it was basically on the sidewalk, and somebody came up to my door and said, "Shut up," screamed it at the top of their lungs, and I had my daughter in there right there, and I was like, "Oh no. And so I went and I dropped it, because also at my house, not my apartment, at my house.
Go ahead.
No, that was about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't have to play it. That's good. Like, we just kind of get all this stuff has come out about Shannon Sharpe, and it's around the time when he's finna get this deal, this $100 million deal. This is somebody that he was supposedly in a long-term relationship with. What do you think about that?
This particular, or in general?
In general, I mean, this particular situation, they're trying to make it like her credibility in general is like thrown out the window to me.
In every way fashionable.
Yeah.
In every way possible. Just from this 5 or 6 minutes that she's been talking.
Yeah.
Cultivate said, "Why not bite it off?"
Not cultivate. Not skip. Okay, you skip. Okay, now you closer to him in color. Now skip and cultivate.
He said, "I'm closer to him."
No biting.
My mom said, "Mind your business, spaces." I'm just saying, like. And then here's one question about this. When first of all, she was married, and she said she was trying to be faithful to him while she's married to somebody else. Mm-hmm. So she's not being faithful to her husband, but trying to be faithful to Shannon. Mm-hmm. And she's more worried about Shannon being unfaithful to her instead of her husband. Mm-hmm. And her and Shannon, as from what I've heard so far, aren't in a relationship at all. So why would either of them need to be faithful to each other? Mm. That's part one. And then two, this is Shannon's house. Y'all aren't together. Y'all not married. What does it matter to you if he has who he has in or out of his house? What say so do you have on who it is that he has in there in his house?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't know Shannon's life for real. Like I don't know anything about what he does on a day-to-day basis, but it sounds like she's giving more attention to him than somebody of his stature would have time for. No, sorry, he's giving more attention to her, according to what she's saying. All the calls and all the constantly like basically stalking her. It doesn't seem like somebody like Shannon Sharpe would have time to constantly do that.
Right. Maybe they trying to make it like that. That's his MO though, because with the younger OnlyFans model, that sounds like something he was doing. You know, just all the calls and quote unquote the harassment and the threats and I guess.
And now, of the situation in general, I think when it comes to, it seems like when it comes to black men in particular, and I don't like to make it a race, but it's a race thing. But it seems like black men in particular, in order for you to reach a certain plateau, you have to go through some level of humiliation. And can I triangulate specifically? No. However, there is a list of black men that have had to go through stuff while they're in their career, and then afterwards, sometime later, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, their career progresses. Now, it could be just coincidence in terms of maybe the situation is real and something actually happened, and he just didn't let that situation make or break his career, or he did what he had to do to make sure he continued to progress his career. Or it could be like, in order for you to go from 20 million, to 80 million, you have to suffer through this humiliation. And my personal opinion, this is the situation with Chris Brown and Rihanna, the Kevin Hart situation, this Shannon Sharpe situation. It was a couple other guys. It's like, in order for them to, it seems like that's what it seems like. In order for him to progress his career, he has to suffer through humiliation. Period. That's just a way of rite of passage. It's a part of the process. Now, do I think he did it? And no, I don't think you can hang out with somebody for 100 times or multiple times over 2 years. They said that they were kicking it. Have relations with them multiple times, link up with them multiple times, and then you are being, I don't want to say the word too much, you are being R-worded or held against your will or abused or whatever it is that she's saying. Like, there's no way you're going to keep going back volunteer. It's not like he has you in his house and you're in the dungeon.
Right. You're
out living your own life and you come to him. Stop it, man. No, I don't. I think my personal alleged opinion is this is a rite of passage.
Yeah, I've always pretty much had that sentiment. I think what happens, not with just him, you get Diddy, R. Kelly, and these are some of these guys who really got tapes and stuff on them. Bill Cosby, right? The issue is you guys are y'all some freaks, man. Y'all some freaks. Y'all some sexual deviants, and I feel like when you're in the industry,
yes, cultivate.
Yeah. Accusers, because
right, yeah. The main story, the where this whole thing popped off is 19-year-old girl or something. I think they met when she was 19.
Yeah.
And they were kicking it for 2 years, and in that 2 years they had relations multiple times. And now she links up with a lawyer that falsely accused Jay-Z of R-wording or whatever a teenage girl when Jay-Z never even met the girl in his life. And all of a sudden, I changed my mind. It wasn't consensual.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Jay, every day. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that these fellas are sexual deviants, man. And when you out here just being sexually loose, right? You kind of get, especially being a black male entertainer, you guys aren't, well, shit, some of them are even married. And you just sexually loose, what happens is that they're going to, even if you didn't do anything, they're going to act as if you did. So that's what I find out, more often than not with black entertainers, because you rarely see this with the white entertainers,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I feel like that's on purpose, right? Or Hispanic entertainers. Like there's no way that black entertainers are the only one doing this.
Right. Yeah, and I while I was, you know, thinking about the situation, I was really trying to not link it back, but connect what Shannon Sharpe is going through to anybody that's white.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be because it's not on my purview and I don't see it, but I do follow news media. So if something like this were to pop off with somebody that's white, I would wager that, outside of the obvious people like Jeffrey Epstein and all that stuff, but all of the crazy people, the crazy situations most frequently happen with black men. And I refuse to believe that black men are the only sexual deviants.
Well, give you an now skip. So, now, Skip. Something came out about you about 2 months ago, Skip. That you was, you know, being sexually Skip was apparently trying to do something. He offered a woman that worked with him, I think she was a hairstylist, like $1 million or something like that, so he can have sex with her. All of that, you know, was basically swept under the rug. Like nobody really talked about it. I mean, Skip himself kept his mouth shut, and maybe that was something that Shannon Sharpe should have done. But I think sometimes people choose to, even though the accusations are real egregious. So I feel like sometimes you want to try to get in front of it. But maybe Shannon's lawyers should have advised him not to really say anything. And then it doesn't help for Shannon because Shannon, he I think on his podcast, one of his sponsors is the little sex pills.
Oh yeah, yeah. I seen those before.
What they call Row or some shit.
It's like a black package or something like that, right? Yeah, I seen.
So it doesn't help, like. Even when he was explaining his point, like, or explaining his side of the story on his podcast,
yeah,
he had an ad for that roll across the stream. Like, the fuck are you doing?
Right.
This is the wrong time for that, bro. So I don't know if the nigga's
like
slow or, you know, like.
And it's the issue. One major issue about this for me is it's a guilty until proven innocent. Because he had to step away from, I think it was ESPN, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He's lost other brand deals. Like if you look at his before this, maybe he had to go back and take him down. But if you look at his videos before this, maybe 2 weeks before the situation popped off and after, he had a lot of things, a lot of ads and all that stuff in the background of his screen. Now he's zoomed in. He has stuff covered up. It's more so of his face instead of his face or his upper body in the background. He just like Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors. Guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
Some humiliation ritual.
Mm-hmm. But this is probably why instead of going into the criminal court, we go into the what's this? Civil.
Yeah,
so
they're going civil.
We're going civil. And of course you're looking for money, but in civil you don't have to be it doesn't have to be proven 100% or something. You know what I'm saying? It has to be
proven enough,
right? Right. This is how they got OJ, right? So OJ, his regular trial, his criminal trial, obviously he was acquitted, but then his civil trial was like, oh, it's a possibility. So it being a possibility, the family wants some money. Right. And in this situation, I feel like the same thing is like, and he jumped out the window, Shannon himself, he jumped out the window by offering the girl $10 million. Because you shouldn't have said nothing. I mean, to me, you shouldn't have said nothing about nothing.
Now, and genuine question, is it proven that because I remember the conversation about the alleged $10 million offer. Mm-hmm. What's confusing to me about that is I don't see a 19 to 21-year-old only, YouTube is still kind of sensitive about that, OF model turning down $10 million. Mm-hmm. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, this is why you get Tony Bugsby or whatever this guy named, the lawyer. Yeah. It's like, well, shit, if he got 10, we can get more.
And that's the, like, if that's the that's the irritating part about this conversation about for me, because if you ask me, I don't see how. I guess you have to give her a trial because because of the allegations.
Yeah.
Me on a on a more straightforward, on a more literally looking at the situation as it stands, looking at the facts as they stand, I don't see how this can even make it in court.
Oh, civil is full of bullshit anyway. I mean, if you've watched all Judge Millian and now they got divorce court and child support, all this dumb shit. Like, I mean, I've seen it all. Like, it's always been, so those are civil matters, and so I can see the courts entertaining this. I mean, these people don't have nothing to do.
Yeah, I was listening, and there you go. That's where the $50 million comes from.
Yeah,
it comes from the lawyer needing money.
Yeah,
not the whatever her name is. I forget her name, and with her, the white girl, the original accuser, and the lady that was just in the video. While we watched that video just now, we saw Shannon Sharpe's face on it. Why can't we see her face?
That's true.
Why can't they come out and accuse this man and ruin his entire life, ruin his entire career, I was gonna say dealerships, but his sponsorships, and he has to sit back and not say anything, just wait for the case to blow over, act like ain't nothing happening.
That's something like that kind of happened to Michael Irvin, right? So he played for the Dallas Cowboys back in the day. The famed Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, right? And
I'm sorry, am I thinking? No, I'm thinking about Michael Strahan, the guy on the news. Sorry, never mind.
No, so Michael Irvin, he also did. He was like a sports announcer, well, not an announcer, but he did sports analysis, and he would. I'm not sure if he worked for, and maybe Maul knows, he worked for Fox Sport 1 or maybe he worked for ESPN, one of the two.
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin, IRVIN. But he had a situation where a white woman accused him of doing something. And it came out to be. I mean, they had video.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Fired from the job. Yeah, did we talk about that? But he ended up getting fired. There you go, Michael. Yeah, Michael Irvin accusations.
Yeah, let's see. Why did Mark?
Oh, the NFL Network, huh?
There it is. Let's see. So people can see. A woman accused him of making lewd comments during Super Bowl festivities in Phoenix, Arizona.
All this over lewd comments.
As a result, the network suspended Irvin from programming during the 2023 season. The case eventually reached a settlement, and Irvin was reinstated. However, it appears that this reinstatement was temporary.
Yeah, but reached the settlement. You watched the video. It was video of this. Like, my man's took a picture with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is what you got to deal with when you're a black athlete, when you're a black entertainer. But it doesn't help yourself as well when you're some type of sexual degenerate. It doesn't. It doesn't help your case, because now it's kind of like, well, I guess, now it puts doubt, and people are like, yeah, I guess I could see, you know what I'm saying, R. Kelly, doing X, Y, and Z in the kitchen, over by the stove, by the counter, by the butter rolls,
And it's I was listening to the Brilliant Idiots this weekend, and Andrew Schultz was breaking it down. What they were having a conversation about, I don't think they were talking about Shannon Sharpe. But to your point that you made earlier, there's so much more work and effort that would have to be dedicated to a criminal case than it would for a civil case.
Mm-hmm.
That these lawyers who otherwise wouldn't have anything to do push for the air quote victim to pursue a civil case, because they're not trying to get the air quote victim money. They're trying to line their own pockets.
Absolutely.
And the barrier to entry and the barrier of proof, like we said earlier, is so much lighter. It's so much lighter. It's less work for them to do. So no, I am completely. It's okay. Here's a question. Similar but different conversation. And it's always been the question in my head. So if a guy pays a girl, That's just, it's devolved even into just paying for a flight, but pays for a girl to come see him, fly to him. That is now starting to be, or maybe it always has been, just now getting popular. That's starting to be labeled as trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if a guy pays for it and she chooses and she agrees, that can be labeled as trafficking. Where does she play in that? By accepting the money.
Mm-hmm.
She I don't know, man. That's what I mean. And relating that back to the Shannon Sharpe situation, where's her play into this? Where does she factor her own choices into this situation?
I'm sorry.
Now, and here's another question regarding specifically the Shannon Sharpe case. People are saying he should have been married. Or it's two things, and it's mostly from black people. He should have been married, and she was too young. What are your thoughts on those regards?
He should have been married.
Yeah, like Shannon, Charlemagne the guy said, yeah, this is you are 52, 56 years old. You should be married. You should have kids. You should be hanging out with your grandkids at this point. You shouldn't be messing around with no 19, 20-year-old OnlyFans models.
So whether or not a person is married, that's whatever. That's up to you, right? Everybody ain't meant to be married, right? Just like everybody ain't meant to have kids. Ain't meant to have kids. So, to me, that's not a really big deal. Him dealing with the young OnlyFans model, well, first she's on OnlyFans, right? So, to me, she was for the streets anyway. Would I condone something like that? Would I condone something like that? Me, myself, I wouldn't deal with a 19-year-old person, right? However, at the end of the day, the way that the government works, or, the law is that this young lady's grown, right? So he didn't do anything against the law. Was it right? I guess that's up to your moral standards. To me, like I said, I wouldn't do it, but that's up to you. Personally, that's what I think. So as long as he didn't break the law, he didn't get on there like R. Kelly, talking about teenagers, how young are we talking, right? Niggas, only in teenagers, there's only two numbers that matter, 18 and 19. Okay? Them is grown. But again, like I said, I have children. I have a daughter who will be 17. I wouldn't want to see her with no 50-year-old nigga, 40-year-old nigga, 30-year-old nigga. You know what I'm saying? 20-year-old nigga. Right? So, but again, she's doing OnlyFans, so she took it upon herself. She wants to sell herself. And this is a guy who was willing to partake. I think this whole issue with the trafficking thing, just to kind of go back a little bit, it should make men, given all the traps that you have, you know what I'm saying, especially being a celebrity, you can't really be moving just out here with your dick, right? I don't give a fuck how young they are, right? They it's gonna be 18-year-olds tomorrow, somebody turning 18 tomorrow, all right? But you have to be more mindful because you're setting yourself up for these traps that you guys clearly ain't getting out of, right? And, I mean, even with Diddy and Cassie, that was an age difference. What's the age difference there? Something
like 18 years.
18 years. But this is the way kind of the world has been for a long time, where older men have dealt with younger women. Younger women are attracted to older men, especially the guys who seem like they're stable. But I think, like I said, it should make men be a little bit more cognizant about the decisions that they're making when it comes to dealing with these females out here. And then this also, in my opinion, I think it kind of hurts women, because you got real women out here that's going through real issues and real problems, right? They really are getting R-worded out here. They really are probably in maybe some of these circles, and being in some of these circles, they're trying, they may be trying to become actresses or models or real life singers and stuff. And, they put themselves in, they might go to a party and then they real life get R-worded. Right? And it's kind of like the girl who cried wolf. All these women before you been lying. So now when it comes to your turn, It's like shit. Do we believe you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, the more people it is doesn't necessarily mean don't nobody lying. It doesn't necessarily mean nobody's lying. It just means there's a whole bunch of people with different stories to me. So, just to kind of bring this thing full circle in regards to Shannon Sharpe, do I believe he should have been married? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he married at one time?
I believe so.
So he was married at one time. He just probably wasn't remarried. I think he does have children. I mean, I'm not the biggest Shannon Sharpe follower. I don't know what the nigga doing in his real life, but let's see.
Let's see. Shannon Sharpe ever married?
Never married. Okay.
Oh no, he was not married.
Okay. All right. But he has three
children.
All right.
Kiari, Kayla, and Kaylee.
Okay, they sound like little mixed kids. Kiari, Kaylee.
David said this is embezzlement. And Nasty Beauty says science says that the older you are, the more likely you are willing to participate in different sexual experiences.
Really? I don't know. I feel like when you're younger, you don't know what the fuck. Maybe I don't know. I don't see you getting older. Well, I guess you could, unless you like an old perv.
I think it's overindulgence, right? So like if you okay, I've seen married guys say that they've been married to their wife for 20 years, and she's more active with him now than she was when they were younger. Like she wants him more now than when they were younger. Now
it's libido, though, right?
Right, and that's what I'm equating it to. And Nasty Beauty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you were at the end of it just talking about libido. But it's like in your younger ages, you experience so much that when you get older, you've experienced so much, and now you want something different.
Right. I can't be like, you now in your 50s and all of a sudden, like, nigga, I want a threesome. I want to go to one of them orgies. Like, really? I feel like the older, or at least the way it should work, the older you get, the more conservative you are as far as things. You're not willing to explore like that.
Okay, Davi, I see. I mean, he can do whatever. But he said Shannon should just come out as gay and throw the whole lawsuit out.
You know what? And I think that's kind of part of the problem. When accusations came out that he, possibly could have been gay, then you had the little sex tape leak, right? Or the little video. And now to me, he's trying to do everything to show people that he's masculine and shit like that, and that he's not gay. It kind of almost backfired on him.
Yeah, because he was also getting ridiculed for his outfits on his podcast.
Yeah, Maul had something similar on. It was minus the purse. You know what I'm saying? My man's would never wear a purse. You know what I'm saying? But he did have the slight get up.
Let's see.
And he wasn't standing high. Shannon was standing. Shannon was looking crazy. But Maul did have that.
Yeah, man. I think this is definitely. Well, my stance on as far as what people are talking about, he should have been married. I do not care about people's marital status. If they choose to get married, that's cool. Right here, you talking about this one?
Yeah. Maul chose the hat instead of the purse. So Maul said, "Let me throw the hat on. That's gonna make that more, man looking." And I agree, man. He definitely did his thing, man. So see, he even got it on in the chat. See, he got it. See, he got the green. That boy representing, man. Shout out to you, Ma. You know what I'm saying? ON nigga coming, man. No more jokes from me when I'm an ON.
So when it comes to people in their marriages, I think it really depends on how much of your information that you put out. That makes it my concern. So if you put your information out for the public and you say, well, yeah, this is why I'm not married, this is why I am married, I don't want to get married, then that opens up the conversation for me to interject and ask questions and entertain the conversation. But if people choose not to get married, I don't care. Clearly, there's something about marriage or something that's not appealing about marriage that Shannon Sharpe chose not to do, because let's be honest, Shannon Sharpe could have whoever he wants. Shannon Sharpe could probably have 6, 7, 8 wives if he wanted to. When it comes to the whole he could have avoided this if he was married. Come on, man. Their wives don't accuse their husbands of stuff to get out of the marriage. No, I don't think him being married is of any consequence to the equation. I think he's not married, and it's not illegal like Jay Day said. He didn't break the law, and these are by law two consenting adults. Now, here's my question about it too: is how do you be more? How do you be more careful, right? Because if he's had multiple relations or met up with this girl multiple times, that would lead anybody to believe that I'm cool. This is a retroactive. You know what? It actually wasn't what I thought it was. This was after they had already done it a whole bunch of times. So how do you be more careful? Like, so, okay, so people say he shouldn't have been messing with a 19 or 21-year-old. Okay, so he messes with a 30-year-old. Is she any less likely to be like, yeah, you know what? It wasn't what I thought it was. If she was 43, if she was 50, at what age do women stop pursuing men like Shannon Sharpe because of his money?
It's also removing accountability from a person who's grown as well. You know, to me, if the same young person were to go, you know, do something like shoot somebody or whatever, they 19 years old, they're going to be charged as an adult. That's an adult. You did an adult thing, right? She out here, she fucking or whatever for money. She's doing an adult thing, right? So to me, yeah, is she a little young? Absolutely. But it's just like, dude, we can't. You don't remove accountability from a person because they're younger.
That's the beauty. I swear, you are like my no. I mean, no offense when I say this. You are like my spirit animal. Like I was waiting to say that. I was waiting to say that. Nobody's coming at Tracy Ellis Ross about how she likes young guys.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's saying, oh, she should be able to do whatever she want to do.
Yeah.
Tracy Ellis is as old as Shannon Sharpe.
I was saying that about what's the singer? Had the crackhead mama. I'm sorry. That's how I think about things. From Oakland.
You said singer?
Yeah. Love never knew what.
Keisha Cole?
Keisha Cole. Remember, she had a baby by a young nigga.
Nobody coming at Keisha Cole, right?
He was like 25 or some shit. She was at least 13 years older than him. He had a baby by this young nigga.
Tracy Ellis Ross is on Michelle Obama's podcast saying, yeah, the guys around my age I don't like. And David said Tracy old thigh.
Yeah, just like her mom.
I'm saying, like, okay, so you know, are we gonna
her mama older thigh.
Are we gonna call a spade a spade? Are we gonna look at this from, or are we gonna keep the same energy? Why ain't nobody saying nothing about Tracy Ellis Ross and how she's moving?
Yeah.
In particular, women are encouraging it. That's the beauty saying Keisha Cole is in a toxic relationship with someone 27 years old.
Diana Ross allegedly used to mess with Michael Jackson. Just saying.
Let's see.
Who you think Dirty Diana was about, man?
What?
Diana Ross was a dirty one.
That's Marcus.
This Maul calling y'all. This Maul. My guy, what's up? Oh, hold on one second. Yo. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear y'all.
There we go.
What's happening?
You live, bro. What's good?
All right, no, because I was going to say, right, y'all was talking about people don't give it to women the same food. Yes, they do. It just don't be as loud as it do with the guys, though. But a lot of women and a lot of guys say the same thing about women, too. It just don't be as loud as this one with Shannon Sharpe or this one with any other guy that it be. It just don't be as loud, and the public don't say, the social media don't go as crazy and all that stuff. But regular people and people that got kids say that all the time, my brother.
And that's what I mean. And I'm talking about the same level of publicity about the situation. Because when it's an older woman like Tracy Ellis Ross saying, yeah, I don't like men around my age. I like the younger guys. People are like, oh, that's weird, but whatever.
I mean, but you got word. We got names for older women who deal with younger men, cougars, super cougars, whatever the fuck they do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the super cougars,
right? But what do you call an older man who deal with a sugar daddy or you know what I'm saying, a pervert or some
daddy,
shit like that? But right, so we don't. So it's definitely frowned upon when older men deal with younger women. But it's almost like a badge of honor, and maybe that's because men have made it a badge of honor to knock down older chicks. But it's not like you getting shit from no older woman. You're not, as a younger man, you're not really gonna get much from an older woman. She damn near on menopause, and she damn near, you know what I'm saying, on way up out of it. I'm just saying, right? But as a younger woman, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get and drain resources from an older man. You may not care about the man specifically, but you need the resources.
Okay, but again, another thing I wanted to call this and I wanted to talk about too was you were talking about it's a lot of people saying Shannon needed to be married. No, only person I ever heard say that was goddamn Charlamagne the God. I ain't heard nobody else say nothing about Shannon needed to be married. He just needs to make better choices. That's all. He could have seen that coming from a mile away. She's 19 and she's an OnlyFans model. What do she want with your old ass, bro? Besides money.
Now, Mom, not me. This Shannon. She saw my muscles.
What else does she want from you? Like, we gotta look at it and we gotta call a spade a spade. Because as we get older, you think younger girls want you. No, they want what comes with you. They want the status. They want the credibility. They want the access to your knowledge. They want the access to like things you got going on. They don't want you because they like you like that. Like some of them like them. Okay, back it up, because you know people like to say that's not all true. Yeah, it's not all true. The majority of the younger women do not want you because you're this one macho guy when they can go get a 19, 20, like when they can date their same age. They getting you because of the status that comes with you, the clout, the status symbol, the you having all the knowledge, you having all your shit together, the you teaching them something, you taking them places they ain't been and all this stuff because they ain't have no money or nothing like that. And the money wise, that's what they dating you for. So people keep saying all this stuff about like, you know, what Shannon Sharpe needs to do. No, nigga, you need to be more mindful of what's going on with you. You know this will come with this. You're a big celebrity. Why you don't got a certain group of roster of girls that you trust already, or have somebody from back in the day or something like that that you, if you want to get your rocks off, get your rocks off. You going in here in the gym, finding a young tenderoni. She know who you is, know you play with. You finally do find out who she is. She an OnlyFans model, and you take her serious? And then not only that, you ain't taking her phone. You're not compensating her phone. You're not making she recording you. She not coming to your place. You going to where she at so she can record you? Come on now, bro.
So my question about that. So I don't disagree with you, right? Now, one question is, at what age do women stop pursuing a man like Shannon Sharpe?
It's gonna never happen. That's just like what all the loopholes are going around the whole world. It's a loophole. So that's up to you to know how to protect yourself from what's going on.
Right.
I can smoke a bag of that.
Okay, Spaces and Jerry.
Wait, don't put me in nothing.
No, I'm just saying. Y'all are two older men. Not saying like y'all older than, but y'all wise. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all moving. So if you meet a chick, I can't say Jerry Day because he's married, but Spaces, you meet a chick out here. You got something going on. You got a decent job. You got something going on for your thing. You're not looking at the girl sideways from a jump. She don't have to prove herself and constantly always prove herself to be coming in your circles and coming in your space. So
Absolutely.
You can know what she's doing and know what she's up to. Okay, so Shannon Sharpe is 73. He don't know what's going on out here.
Says 73.
So he don't know what's going on out here. He don't know how to move. He don't. Dog, the man playing the NFL where his groupies at his hotel room in his bed before he even gets there. He don't know how to maneuver around women. Come on, man.
So I don't disagree with you. My second question was, how does he maneuver more? Any man maneuver more carefully? Like, how do you differentiate the woman that is pursuing you or is rocking with you only specifically for your money and your opportunities versus the woman that's genuinely there for you?
But that's only time to tell. And shit, when you get that type of money, bro, that's what comes with the money. When you get that type of money, you that type of rich, it's very rarely and likely you ain't gonna find nobody who you can really trust. This is just some fucking and just keep moving. Because when you get that type of money and status, you're gonna always be paranoid and looking at people upside their head. I don't care who it is, friends and everybody. Everybody around you, if they wasn't with you since day one, and you know for absolutely without a shadow of a doubt that they got your back, that's the only way you'll trust somebody. Anybody new that come in your circle, you're gonna constantly test them every day, no matter what, because they weren't with you when you was lifting them weights and going to get the footballs for you, throwing you the footballs in the rain and all that stuff. They weren't with you doing that stuff. So it's very hard to trust. They just come with the territory. It is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
That's part of the thing.
They want to call in.
Cultivate. You want the call in number? Okay. Well, I'll figure it out. David said, "Ma, get back to flipping them ribs."
Hey, tell David to mind his goddamn business and get back to never mind. Go ahead, David.
But no, I agree with you. Ideally, yeah, you should move as carefully as possible, especially knowing what comes with you. But at the same time, I would wager that he was at a point where he didn't think that he would have to like she was cool. Like everything was consensual, everything was mutual. Now I think the only thing that he messed up at is, and maybe he did, and I just haven't heard about it, but not having her sign a consent agreement.
Hey, fuck the consent agreement, bro. You have to move with the purpose when you got something to lose. I have something to lose. I have a whole white kids and everything out here. I'm moving with a purpose wherever I go. Every day as well. Every day got a family. You got people that depend on you too. So you move with a purpose. It's never just moving just to be. Ain't nobody just gonna say, like Deion Sanders said this person. Ain't nobody just gonna say, oh, Maul just so happened to be here. No, Maul was there because he wanted to be there and he had some business. It wasn't just so happened I've been there. I was moving with the purpose. Every guy, like we all know this. OG's been told us you move with the purpose. No matter where you go. Even at work, you move with the purpose. You're not just so happen to be here. Oh, I just so happen to be around the corner. I'm going to go to this party. Hell no. Right. We're old enough to know now. Stuff needs to be planned. We got days and stuff planned out. That's why I couldn't be there today because I had stuff planned out.
Right.
Every day I had to start the podcast because he moved with the purpose. He had something to do for the woman in his life, so he had to move with the purpose. So all this trying to give Shannon Sharpe flash and try to get a girl, fuck what that girl got going on. She's young. She ain't got nothing. She don't know no better. She'll learn eventually, and the thing she'll learn that she should have took that $10 million and not trying to be holed out for the 50.
Cultivate, send us a message.
You probably ain't pretty fuck around to get nothing now.
Send us a message on IG right now, Cultivate, so I can. I'm looking at the IG right now because we can call on IG.
Yeah. So he should be moving with the purpose. He's too old to be moving like that and to be moving with like a young dude. Shannon Sharpe, all this is like young nigga activity. How Jerry they say I'm going from white end to ON. Shannon Sharpe have been an ON. He's moving like a white end. And that's the reason he's in this mess now. Moving like because it's a whole bunch of Shantae's 30-something that's bad as I don't know what. That probably wouldn't even did him like this. And some like Stacey, you said it perfectly too. And there's some older women would have did the same thing too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
The chances are a little bit more better with the older woman than this right here. Because she's she's an OnlyFans model. How you get caught up in that? And you told her you pay her $25,000 each cheek. She got some of the fattest cheeks I ever saw in my life.
Some people like their piece of flat.
I think he said he liked that type of woman.
Some people like their pancakes but that's flat, cool. Man.
So,
they don't like fluffy.
So he liked that kind of woman, and this is the result from that. I'm not saying it should have happened to him. I'm not congratulating him like that. Everything that I tell my son all the time, every decision you make has a consequences by it. Those type of women that you like it, this is the consequence that come behind those type of women you like. It's the consequence that come with that. Yeah, this what happens with flat booty women. But nah, bro, Shannon Sharpe kind of brought this upon this stuff, all this upon this stuff, bro. It ain't no slack. He's too old for this to even happen to him like this. Nah, bro.
Yeah, man. I hear what you're saying, and I agree on that extent. I just don't know how differently he could have moved to where he could have protected himself from this, because there's nothing that would be able to stop this from happening. If let's say he goes in now, he messes with a 50-year-old woman. That same 50-year-old woman could come back 2 or 3 years later and say this and do the same thing.
But Spaces, it's the simple fact of you constantly vetting people. Like, okay, even though I've been married so long, you think it ain't still a vetting process? You still don't think we have conversations? You still don't think you want to know what a person's mind is at all the time? People slip up and say their intentions all the time. So it's always a vetting process of like, okay, if this is just an F session, all right, leave your phone in the front. We go in a hotel room, we smash and here go your money, you go about your business. You didn't sit up here and brought her into your thing, letting her keep her phone and doing all this stuff. You breaking the rules, my brother. If this was just for fucking, why is she allowed to text you at any time of day, call and do this and over your house and do it. No, we meet in a hotel every day to smash and keep it moving. Why are you in my space like that? You don't even know what kind of car I drive. If this is just a smash session. He messed up the game. He messed up all the rules to the game that he's been playing for a long time because he let his guard down.
Got you. All right, bro. Appreciate your thoughts, man. Wish you could be here.
Yeah, I'll probably call back again if y'all still on.
Yeah, Jerry Day said we already passed the hour. Jerry Day said he got to go.
It's okay. We got about 6 minutes. We're gonna wrap this shit up. B.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Later.
All right, love.
Later.
All right, man. Yeah, I think speaking of that recording on IG when he went live, I think that was fake. I think it was real. I think it was done on purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
No question. Like, there's nothing to lead me to believe that was on mistake. Like, we're long gone are the days where you butt dial stuff or pocket dial stuff. David said it's always the celebrity N words. They always effing up the game.
Yeah.
He said it's definitely fake. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's all we got time for today, y'all. We'll call it. We'll give y'all a full show next week.
Absolutely.
It's just Mother's Day, and
y'all can cash at me if you know me personally. It's my birthday coming up, so that'd be Saturday. Send me a couple dollars. You can on Cash App. You can send me $1, or you can send me $1 million. You know what I mean? But you can buy me a coffee or something. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You got something for Mesh that you want to?
Nothing much for Mesh, but you know what? Like we said from the beginning, it's a happy Mother's Day. It's nice here in Chicago. Kind of cool. But if you're around your mother, if you still have your mother in your life, give her a kiss. Give them hugs. The women in your life, give them kisses and hugs. And the mothers who've passed on, just keep them in your memories. And like I said, like the KNoWKi podcast would say, just happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Big shouts out to Will Hill. You see David comments. He said, big shouts out to Will Hill.
I need that money, Nate.
I need that money. I'm in a bind, Nate.
I'm in a bind.
Big shouts out to Will Hill Comedy on IG. Man, if you can, if y'all follow him on Facebook, it's Will Hill.
Yes, sir.
He puts his shows on Facebook so you can see. If y'all can catch him, man, check him out, bro. I definitely got caught off guard with one of the times he made me laugh. But this has been another rendition of your favorite after church podcast, the KNoWKi podcast. Wear your crown, build your legacy, kings. I am your man, Spaces.
I'm your illustrious co-host, Jerry Day.
Y'all heard the man Maul call in?
Yes, sir.
Meeting adjourned.
Good looks, bro.